Welcome in everybody to another Win Daily NBA DFS pre-lock show. I'm Tony. This is Ghost, and tonight we only got 4 games. I'm wearing my Sixers hat proudly tonight because my boy Tyrese Maxey went nuclear last night, which I love to see. Right, so we're getting that. Listen, 4 games tonight, not a ton to talk about, but still get in there, get some talking a little bit. What games to target? Obviously, read the article. You already saw it. Then you already know the games that Ghost is even looking at. WinDailySports.com is where you find it. Make sure you follow at WinDailySports on all social formats as well. Ghost tonight, I mean, the only thing I would say, which makes me, and I know it's past your bedtime, but I got Heat Ratio live tonight at Steam Pub, so I won't be watching basketball till about 9:30, which is perfect for me to watch the Clippers and the Nuggets. So while you're in bed, I'll be looking at the Denver Clippers game. I know not everyone might not enjoy that, but for me, at least I get to watch some basketball tonight.
Yeah, that's 30 minutes past my bedtime Monday or Thursday. So it's a 4 a.m. wake up for me Monday or Thursday. So it's an early night, but it's all good. I get to see Jordan Poole at 7 p.m. and then I get to see Trey playing at Madison Square Garden for a little bit too. So it's not too
I
bad.
like that. I like that. I can't wait to see Trey tonight. I think he's gonna light it up. 100%. I like it. Already Jimmy checking in real fast. As Adam says
Yeah,
Obi's 85%.
I was gonna talk about that.
Wow. 85%. Man, should we fade? So we'll talk about that. We'll get into all that again. We only got 4 games on the slate, but we're going to get right into it. We'll go right to the cores as always. I will tell you, man, last night, Ghost, I was really holding out for that DK special, man. I was on 4 for LaMelo and 3 on Rozier. He was cold last night. I was like, I thought it was going to happen, but it didn't. But oh well, it is what it is. Ghost score tonight. Giannis, Holiday, Poole, Caruso, man. I love it. Talk about the big man, obviously.
Yeah, look, no Middleton for the Bucks. Giannis' stats stay relatively stagnant with Middleton off the floor. It's just this is the game where, as we get to the last stretch of the NBA season, you guys will hear me repeat this a lot. There's only so much the analytics can tell you. The Bucks are tied for second and fourth, technically. Like they hold the tiebreaker over the Celtics to get that 3 seed, but Philadelphia has the tiebreaker over them to get to that 2 seed, right? So this is going to be huge considering the condition of the teams that are going to be in the play-in round. Like, I don't think anybody wants to face the Raptors in the first round, but like you want to get as close as you can to the top of those standings. And especially in the East, it matters so much. And this is what Giannis is going to do for the next 2+ months here as we get into playoff time also. So the stats themselves stay stagnant. He's going to see a big increase in terms of shots tonight. And the guy that actually sees the most amount of increase is Jrue Holiday. And he gets that beautiful matchup that I was talking about yesterday with Chicago's perimeter defense. And I talked about it with Fred VanVleet. Went bonkers. The VanVleet-Levine combo was absolutely lethal. One from myself, one from Tony in terms of our cores. And it just worked out beautifully, man. Like, it's a spot I'm going right back to tonight with Jrue Holiday. And then on the flip side, I need some Caruso action. Pat Williams made his return to the lineup tonight. Like, his minutes are going to be low if he even plays in this game. He'll likely end up ruled out for injury management, and Zach LaVine might get ruled out for injury management as well, right? So it's a big game for the Caruso here, and I do like his value at 4,200 on DK. And the third guy that I'm building around tonight is going to be Jordan Poole. Steph Curry is going to be out for the foreseeable future. It wouldn't surprise me to see him rest pretty much up until that last stretch before the playoffs. Steve Kerr is probably going to get him into some game action before they tip off in that opening round. But it's going to be Jordan Poole from here on out. Yes, Klay Thompson gets a huge bump. You could make a case for Andrew Wiggins, anybody else, but the Warriors are still a deep team. They got Otto Porter, Draymond's back, Kuminga. This is a Kuminga type of environment too against the Orlando Magic, and they got Gary Payton II making his return to the line tonight. We don't know if Moody's playing or not, but like the one guy that is going to lead the team in shots, if not come second right behind Klay Thompson, is going to be Jordan Poole. So at his price on DK, I'd much rather take the savings over Klay. Go to Jordan Poole. He'll run that offense for 28 to 32 minutes tonight. And this is the exact core that I laid out in the article. I made it as crystal clear as possible for a 4-game slate. And It hasn't changed one bit.
Tell you what, last night you were bonkers on Valanciunas and J Val just
I
went
appreciate
off,
it. Thank
right?
you.
What's
That was for
wow.
some reason we had like the whole Discord chat was typing it too. Like the moment the slate locked, because Joe Val was playing at 7. And the moment the slate locked, we saw Joe Val 6% rostered. I was like, that's probably the majority of that is us. And I was like, I don't get it, man. Against Charlotte, how can you not roster Joe Val? And he's got a double 10 minutes into the game.
Oh,
The points and rebounds was at 31.5 for plus money. He hit that like halfway through the third quarter. It was a really big night for Joe Val, almost leading the slate in scoring if it wasn't for LeBron against Cavs, which he did mention as well. So that was in the article too. He mentioned on the show, and it was in the article. Lakers versus Cavs. It was LeBron versus Garland. I like that combo, but man, it was a big night for Joe Val, that's for sure. And I'm hoping to keep it rolling here with these Bucks. That if no one plays the Bucks tonight, you're doing it wrong. It's going to be a big game for Milwaukee.
yeah, it is. Really, really big game and big game for Giannis, obviously. Jimmy, as always, Jimmy, exactly what we tell. If you've read the article, this core is very obvious. Absolutely, Jimmy, as always, we really appreciate it. So yeah, listen, last night, my core wasn't great. Tyler Hero really disappointed me. I don't know what the hell happened there, but it is what it is. And he was so consistent. And listen, it happens. It's tonight, a little bit of a change for me. Starting off with obviously with Giannis. We don't have to say much about him. Trae Young for me is 100% in my core. I'm building around Trae. Madison Square Garden. Come on, man, Trae. I'm not going to go with Sling Trae tonight. I'm going to go with Fireball Trae tonight. I think it's going to be a really, really good game for Trae, especially with the game pace. Listen, I mean, the Knicks are young and they like to run. That's going to set up Trae. He's going to run as well. So last time he faced the Knicks, he scored 29 and 47 on DK. It absolutely expecting more out of Trae for 10-4. I think we get a 55 to 60 point night from him. Could be on the verge of triple-double territory. I really think maybe, depending on how many shots get both from the Knicks. But on the other side, I'm Mr. Robinson's neighborhood, man. Mr. Robinson's neighborhood. I'm going all in on Mitchell. Last time they faced a double for 5,400. I really like him in my core. I know Ghost always says don't go double center, and I completely agree. But with a 4-game slate, I'm trying to get a little cute here, and you're going to see why with my FFVP. But going over to that Orlando game, I had Jordan Poole for 7,400. I decided to pivot and go Cole Anthony and save myself 1,400. Now, will that work out? I don't know. But what I can tell you is in that game, obviously with no Steph, in that game with a lot of injuries, the Orlando and the Warriors game, I think, is going to have a lot of points. You never know what's going to happen, right? We talk about guys with a lot of injuries. Even though Clay is playing, here's the thing. The thing with Clay playing, you still don't know how many minutes he's going to give, right? So obviously, I really like Cole Anthony Knight in that game. And I'm going to go right into the FFVP. And I know everybody's on Obi. I went a little different. I went a little higher, and I went to Marcus Cousins because not only do I get to watch the late game, but again, DeMarcus has played extremely well since he has signed with Denver. Now, not getting a lot of clock. You don't expect him to get a lot of clock. And when you're watching a guy in Philly like DeAndre Jordan, you just wish you had a backup like DeMarcus Cousins behind Joel, like is it behind Jokic. So again, I expect fully 18 to 24 minutes tonight to give you a solid 25 to 30. And I think that's a big deal when you're talking FFVP for 4,100. So again, now Ghost, you go right to Obi, right? You're going to the Obi FFVP for 3,200. Obvious, right?
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about this because he's number one in my model right now. But if he's 85% roster, guys, I'm telling you right now, I'm out.
It's a big number.
That is beyond, like, I'm trying not to throw up live on camera. 85% OB top in is extremely nauseating. So if he's still number one projected rostered player on the slate as we get closer to lock, I'm completely out. That's just what it is. If he's not, I'm okay. And I don't even like OB top in tonight. It's just he makes me love the rest of my build. I'm able to get Giannis, Drew Holiday, Jordan Poole, and RJ Barrett.
I love that. How can you not like that?
How could you not? Like, the only guy that I look at the slate and I'm like, hey, who am I missing? outside of Joker, because I'm playing Giannis, I can't play both. That's just the only guy that I'm like, man, I wish I could fit him is Trey. That's it.
Yeah.
Everybody else I have in my lineup. So to me, it's like if I'm only missing out on Trey, but I get RJ Barrett, Drew Holiday, Giannis, and Jordan Poole, like Toppin's the one that make that work. But if he's 85% rostered, I'm out. That's the one thing I'll say.
Miss you too, Adam. Miss you too. Adam will be back soon. But yeah, all over 50%. I mean, you see, listen,
It's gross.
3
You
Knicks.
can't do that.
3 Knicks.
Like, here's the thing, right? So on a 4-game slate, raw points is king. I'll say that all the time. Your lineup still has to make sense. And if you're playing $7,600 RJ Barrett, you don't want anybody else touching the ball. I get it. Guys, I'm a huge RJ Barrett fan. He's from the north of the border. He's literally from Toronto, neighboring city, right beside ours. Like, it's everybody north of the border loves RJ Barrett, myself included. If you are paying $7,600 for RJ Barrett tonight, you don't want anybody else touching the ball. So, like, I get it. Obi can't kill your lineup if you're playing with RJ. That's fine. But if you're playing Burks, you're playing Fournier. First of all, you should never play Evan Fournier. But if you're playing Fournier, you're playing. We talked about Mitchell Robinson. Like that's the thing. I want Mitch Rob going 15 and 15 if I'm playing him. He can't do that if RJ Barrett's putting up 25 shots. Right. So like that's where to me it's just this Knicks roster where everyone's flocking to the Knicks. Because if you either play RJ with a punt, whether it's Sims, whether it's Obi, whether it's whoever, that's fine. Or you go 1 or 2 in the mid-range max. Like you can't be loading up on Knicks here. There's plenty of better plays on this slate. That's for sure. I just don't get it.
Hey, listen, I completely agree. Number one, I love an RJ. RJ is my guy. I love RJ Barrett. Love his game. I like to absolutely see him grow. So that's one thing for sure. But let's get into our props for profit as well. Short game slate tonight, short show. Obviously, I'm taking a night off when it comes to bets. Last night was 1 for 1. Almost hit the big one. I'm gonna take a night off in a 4-game slate. Be back tomorrow with some more props for profit. Not really caught my eye. Ghost has a couple here, and listen, he didn't get them in the core, but he's got them on a props for profit. Right.
I had to get some action on Trae Young somewhere, so it's gonna be over 38.5. And knowing him, he's gonna hit this by half just because I didn't play him tonight, and it's just what it is. So it's probably gonna be a max bet for me tonight on Trae Young. But look, if you don't know what the significance of Trae Young playing at MSG is, just Google last year's playoff, and you'll see why you want to put your mortgage on this bet tonight. Don't actually do that. It's a joke. Don't take it literally. But absolutely love Trae Young. I have him projected for 43 points and assists at nearly plus money. It's a big edge. I like it.
I like that too. And sticking to your truth as always. A guy in your core is in your bets and a plus.
That's what it is.
Holiday.
That's what it is. We went to Fred VanVleet yesterday with props as well on the sheet. That cashed. Picking on the same matchup, Drew Holiday. He's getting a score. If you want to just go points, I'm okay bumping his points up from 18.5 to 20. If you want to bump it up to 20, I'm cool with that to get closer to that. Because there's heavy juice on 18.5. You bump it up to 19.5, you're in that minus 105 range. So if you want to just take the points, I'm cool with that. I'm going with the rebounds and assists combination along with points too, because he's gonna have to dish the rock a ton, and he's gonna rebound a lot as well. Like the Bucks seem pretty keen on playing Portis alongside Giannis as well, so that's where you're gonna see Pat Connaughton and Jrue Holiday grabbing a lot of boards. Grayson Allen, I don't even want to talk about Grayson Allen. Definitely one of my least favorite players, but the guards are going to have to be active on the glass tonight, especially against the likes of DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine if he plays. And Caruso is very active on the glass as well. Obviously, we know what Vooch can do in the paint. Everybody's going to have to be active on the glass. So Jrue over 32.5 PRA. I got a pretty big edge on this one too in the model. So I'm going for it at plus 110. Absolutely love this matchup.
I love Philly. Starting with Philly, right? Drew Holiday rolling back.
I wish he was still there. I wish he was still there.
I know. Shout out to Drew. I always like Drew. I'm glad he's been able to get a ring, and I'm glad he's been able to play well. So I think that's a great call as always. So Listen, everybody, as always, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Again, Win Daily Sports will be back tomorrow for a bigger slate, obviously. But tonight, 4-gamer. Get these bets in. Make sure you check. You never know. Check the injury report. There's still some questionable guys out there, some questionable tags. You want to make sure you're up to date as well. Make sure you get them in and out of your lineup and you have somebody to pivot to. We'll be back here tomorrow, just like we always are. Again, thoughts real quick. Jimmy, this is my long Mortiz Wagner tonight. Mortiz, Mr. Mortiz. I like Franz Wagner. I don't know what do you think about Mortiz Wagner before we get out of here. Ghost.
I like Franz Wagner too. I don't mind Mo. I don't mind him. If it makes the rest of your build work, that's fine. Just don't play him with Obi. Like you gotta, you're gonna need to play one of these punt guys where you're like, please just do something out there and don't be a cardio king. Like you got to limit your lineup to one potential Peloton instructor. That's what I'm saying. Like if there's one guy that's out there, if there's one guy that's out there like teaching Peloton classes or running Zumba courses on Sunday morning, like you need to limit that to one in your lineup max. So you don't want to have too many Zumba instructors out there on a Sunday morning. So if it's Mo, it's Mo. If it's Obi, it's Obi. If it's Sims, if it's Pat Connaughton, and any one of those guys, just try your best to limit it to one. If you're going two, that's fine. Just don't go overboard on the Knicks. That's my moral of the slate today. Everyone's playing Knicks. I don't like it.
Ease up on the Knicks.
Ease up on the Knicks. We need a nice 15 and 15 Mitch Rob game for your core. Yeah, and we need some RJ highlights for SportsCenter. If not, Canadian SportsCenter is going to be freaking tomorrow morning if they don't have RJ Barrett highlights. So
we're getting RJ.
We need some RJ Barrett highlights.
We're getting RJ highlights
and a nice Mitch game. We need Fournier bricks, and we need
Bricks.
We need the rest. Yeah. And we need Trey to go off. That's what it is.
I want to see some interaction between Trey and Spike Lee.
Yes, absolutely want to see that. Absolutely
that's going to be some good theater. As always, Jimmy, thank you, Brian. Checking in, and Brian, I'm not going to let you go with that comment saying Toby over Drew. I know you're doing that to get in Jigsaw's mind. It's all good. We will catch you back here tomorrow at Win Daily Sports. Everybody, stay safe, stay healthy. Good luck, good betting. We'll catch you tomorrow night.